Good morning. It's May the 24th, and I am definitely not in Regina. This is Halifax, Nova Scotia. I'm at the Harbourfront Marriott. That's the hotel behind me here. And I'm going to take a walk along the pier. Uh, take a look at this famous maritime town. I think that just takes me into a deck, but let's wander down there anyway. It's quite chilly, so nobody's sitting out here enjoying the deck, that's for sure. Too cold for that. Here's the harbor, of course. We'll see more of it as we carry on, but here for a few days. Hope to see a few sights. I think I can go down here, looks like. Very famous harbor. Back in the wars, this is where troop ships departed from. See the big bridge down at that end. We're going to walk down this way along the pier. Don't know if there's any cruise ships in. Might be. Make sure I watch my feet here. I'm going to take a tumble down these concrete steps onto the pier. That's not quite what I had in mind. There's a lot of restaurants along here. Fishy restaurants, mostly. Look, there's a mermaid. Been here once before, a few years ago. This is only my second time. Well, some of the oldest buildings are down here along the pier. Oh, I'm sure that used to be a cow's ice cream shop, but pandemic and all probably cost a few places. There's a ferry across the other side. Dartmouth. What do you think I'd know? Why should I know? So when you're down in here, it still looks a bit like the old city. Salty's restaurant. I think we ate there last time I was here. Pickford. If I go blank here on the live stream, it'll still show up as a recording later. I guess that's another restaurant, also not looking very outdoorsy. More industrial shipping and stuff over on that side. Another jogger. So there's a boardwalk all along here. It's the ferry terminal up here. I saw the ferry crossing, and here's another one waiting. Did we take the ferry over to the other side last? I'm confusing that with some other place. Might be. We've been in a few coastal towns the last few years. Halifax Ferry Terminal. Another jogger. Seems to be a very popular thing to do, jog along the harbor walk. Apparently you can rent these little scooters too, maybe. Chibukto Landing. Ferry over there. Now we are here. Oh, is this where we ate? I don't know. All these places look a little familiar. Oh, here's cows. They must have just moved. So I'm sure they were over in that other spot. Well, I'm glad they're still there. Canada's best ice cream, indeed. Can't argue with that. Well, you can. Shouldn't be wrong. There are taller buildings, modern buildings in downtown Halifax here. And he's holding up pretty well. He's complaining a little bit. Long plane ride yesterday, 2 of them, 3 hours from Regina to Toronto and then 2 hours to Halifax. And long layover in Toronto while we were there. Let's go down around the end here. You can see more of the harbor. Cable Wharf, kitchen window, and there's a little ship. Don't know what it does. Doesn't really look like a tourist vessel, but I guess it could be. Take a sail around the harbor. Ah, yes, this one over here is a museum. It's a corvette. We'll get to it in a minute. Not of the car type. They were small naval vessels that made up a lot of Canada's Navy during the Second World War. And that's kind of they're sort of an anti-submarine, basically. And I was familiar with them because Weyburn, where I grew up, there was an HMCS Weyburn during the war, which was sunk somewhere in the Mediterranean, I think, maybe. I don't remember the details now. So it was very interesting to tour that last time we were here. And my daughter, Alice, who was much younger then, was with me, so that was cool. There's also a big maritime museum, which focuses a lot on the Halifax explosion. Back in the First World War, an ammo ship exploded in the harbor. It's basically the equivalent of a nuclear bomb going off. Devastated the city. The largest man-made explosion until nuclear weapons came along, I think. Close to it, anyway. So somewhere out there, it blew up and laid waste to everything around on the hills surrounding the harbor. Back in 19... I don't know what year it was. I should. I still remember reading a book about it when I was a kid at the Weyburn Public Library. Lots and lots of outdoor seating that absolutely nobody is using right now because it's cold. Little public art. Oh, another sailboat. Here's the Corvette. Here's a boat shop. Not surprising to see that down here. Acadia. So she won't sail again. Maritime Museum of the Atlantic. The ship is closed. So we couldn't go in even if we wanted to, but it was very interesting to visit last time. That talks about it a bit there. The finest Edwardian steel-hulled vessel remaining in the world today. Oh, is this not the Corvette? He was also used as an oceanographer. It's launched in 1913, decommissioned in 1969. It was a scientific ship. Served in both the First and Second World Wars. But it's not a corvette. Why did I think? Is there still a corvette? Is the corvette somewhere else? Did I imagine that? I didn't think so. This is the Maritime Museum, I think. Well worth visiting. Even the playground has a maritime theme. Is this the museum? Maybe not. Did I imagine the Corvette? Or did I get it confused with that scientific ship as being a Corvette? I do not know. Public art. Lots of opportunities to go sailing, should you wish. Modern buildings right here as well. See Halifax tours. Maps and more, the travel stores. You might guess, tourism is a big thing here. And yeah, huge cruise ships come in regularly. I don't know if there's one in now or not. We'll see when we get closer to that end of the waterfront. Beaver tails are not actually beaver tails, they're kind of pastry. No actual beaver involved. Huh. #1 rated experiences in Nova Scotia: sailing tours, wine tastings, custom charters. Deep sea fishing tour, Halifax's newest luxury sailing experience. Represents a sailor, I would guess. Go down this way and up these steps, I think. The beer garden, Salt Yard Social. Your ocean adventure starts here. Huh. I obviously got that turned around in my head, what that ship was. It wasn't a Corvette. Either that or they moved the Corvette since then, since we were on it. I'll have to look that up because I'm confused. I have a distinct memory of visiting a Corvette with guns and everything. That's the only vessel of the right size that it might have been, but oh well. I apologize if I have misled you. This is not my home city. I don't think there's any cruise ships. No, there aren't. There'd be a cruise ship. You can't miss them because they're the size of a small city. But we would see it right up there if there was one in town. Maybe a little early yet, what with the temperature. I guess that's a stage. There was once a very oh. This one was to represent the Merchant Marine. I thought for a minute that was where this other ship that I'm sure used to be here. I'm going to have to really do some looking up on that. See what the heck's going on in my brain. I will be working today. I published 4 books last week. Did I mention that? So I'm kind of doing book birthday announcements. One is Simiakia, which is a Western, modern day Western, set in Idaho in 1986 by Lori Windows, who's a world championship horse endurance racer. One is The Brand of Brotherhood, which is a Wild West style Western. One is mine, Soulworm. My first novel, now in a new edition. Temporarily closed. Okay, well, I didn't imagine it, that but where is it? Is it a dry dock somewhere being worked on? Or is she, I should say. You shouldn't call ships its. Lighthouse over there on that island. Now we're looking out into the Atlantic, straight ahead. If there were a cruise ship coming, you'd see it. You see it a long way away as it comes in through the harbor mouth there. I remember seeing one last time we were here. I was embarrassed for it. It had this ridiculous sort of luscious lips and big eyes on the front of it. I thought, if ships have feelings, that one is mortified. This is all new construction clearly going on over here that wasn't here last time. Oh yes, Maud Lewis. I remember visiting that exhibition last time we were here. The art gallery. I remember this building. I think we did eat in here. This is neat. Let's see, there's still a restaurant there. Regina. Is that where we ate? I don't know. You are now here. No, that looks like a dessert place. May have changed. It has been almost, it hasn't been 10 years, but it's been 8 years since we were here. Things do change in 8 years. We'll go this way because there's something going on there. I have a mental image of another place I ate and I didn't see it, so I wonder if that's changed. Sea Smoke Restaurant and Bar. Was that where we ate? Don't know. I have to go back and look at my pictures, I guess. This is all new, obviously. Oh, with the fact they're still building it, that's a dead give. Oh, was this where we ate? Lunch, supper, wine bar. This might have been where we ate. This looks more familiar than that does. The Bicycle Thief. Yes, I'm sure this is. Almost sure that we ate there 8 years ago. It was very good, as I remember. Hard to remember anything over 8 years. Guess we can still keep going. I was afraid this might be blocked off, but it looks like even though they're working here, you can still waterfront your way along. Cunard, as in the ships. Must be condos. Space to share, space to play. There's a proper seagull. We get land gulls in Regina. They're smaller than these guys. That's what it's going to look like, apparently, when it's done. Cunard public space. But the building itself, oh no, maybe it's business. As I said, a lot of cruise ships come in here, so we have an interesting influx of people periodically. The Grand Derangement. Acadia, established by France in 1604, was strategically located in Halifax. In 1713, it was handed over to England and renamed Nova Scotia. Well, this is the whole Acadian thing. Cajuns, eventually. Louisiana. Grand Arrangement. Yes, not much similarity between here and Louisiana, but this is where Cajuns originated. Up this way. About the development. A high-quality mixed-use project that will contribute to a total of 2 acres of exciting new public space on and surrounding the site. Rental units. Ground level retail. So that's what they're building. Next time I'm here, which could be years, if ever, it'll be completed. Probably won't be here again. Maybe my last trip here. Don't have much reason to come here, unless we just came for the vacation. But there's lots of places to go for vacations, so. Lots of nice seating and stuff around here, all along the waterfront, all along the watchtower. That's a historic site over there. Haven't been over there. I remember being told about it, but I don't remember the details. And there's the lighthouse, marking the entrance to the harbor, I guess. Then up here, we're coming to the famous immigrant pier. Kind of the equivalent of Ellis Island, I guess, in New York. I do like the Nova Scotia flag. The blue cross and the coat of arms in the middle. Oh, police car. Everyone behave themselves. Looks like they're doing some work up here too. Around Halifax Seaport. This is where the cruise ships come in. Oh, no, it ends down there, it looks like. Can you get around the end? Maybe you can get around the end. Overbuilding, obviously. Oh dear! Didn't realize that my microphone had turned sideways, so the sound probably hasn't been very good for a while. Sorry about that. Oh, restricted area. Not supposed to go in there, but yeah, this would be down to where the cruise ships come in. But there are none at the moment. Trees are blossoming. I will go up a bit and walk one street up or something when I head back. I do have to go somewhere else. Ooh, tulips. Tulips, tulips, tulips. National Historic Civil Engineering Site. Ocean Terminals, 1912 to 1928. Since my wife's an engineer. Volunteers, Halifax Women's History Society. So if you honor the volunteers during the Second World War. Let's go over there and see what this statue is all about. Now that that car's gone by. More flowers. Cunard, Samuel Cunard. Oh, as in the Cunard line. Uh-huh. 1787 to 1865. Haligonian world benefactor. Samuel Cunard. Looking stony faced. Bronze faced, I guess, actually. Again, this is where the cruise ships come in. Look downtown. I actually have to go to the Scotia Center, their pub in there. Latte da. Could get some coffee. It's tempting. But not with the camera. Oh yeah, the farmers market's in here too. I remember coming to that last time we were here and seeing it. Canadian Museum of Immigration at Pier 21. Pier 21 was the famous immigrant pier that I was talking about. Oh look, souvenirs probably. Why does it have home in quotation marks? It's not really the home. People misuse punctuation all the time. Garrison Brewing over there. Pavilion 20. Toma Vino Pizzeria. Of course, whenever a cruise ship pulls in, it's like a whole city has just dumped into your city, a small town anyway. Those ships are enormous. NSCAD University. I remember that too. Shaping art, design, and crafts since 1887. We're walking by all of this stuff. All this here stuff. East Coast lifestyle. I'm surprised I haven't had more people saying hello today. Maybe it's the time. We're way out on the East Coast now, so 3 hours different from where I normally walk. 4 hours from the opposite coast. And half an hour later in Newfoundland. A phrase that anybody that's watched Canadian TV growing up became very familiar with. Half an hour later in Newfoundland. This will be our turnaround point up here. E Black Gallery. I know we went in here the last time around. I think we went into the Pier 21 Museum up here too, my daughter and I at least. We wandered the whole, much nicer day though. That was in September. It's quite chilly today. Oh yeah, I was definitely in there, the Centre for Craft, Nova Scotia. There's an old Canadian National Railways car, passenger car. And here's Pier 21, the Museum of Immigration. Canadian Museum of Immigration. But not going in there. We will go this way and see what we can see on the road up. So, moving away now from the harbor a little bit. Not quite as scenic. Ooh, yeah. Far less scenic on this side of the building. Well, actually, on the other side of this building, it's not particularly scenic either, but in general, the city will be less scenic, I think. Still Halifax, though. I'll probably work my way all the way back to the hotel and then stop. Or maybe a block or two, whatever direction that is. I don't really know. I guess the Halifax is on the southeast coast of Nova Scotia. So out to sea is east. So to my left ought to be more or less west. So I should be walking north. Pretty easy to find east when the Atlantic Ocean is sitting there. Hard to misplace that. Oh, Nova Scotia Choral Federation, Theatre Nova Scotia. This is all Writers Federation of Nova Scotia. This is all my kind of stuff here. Dance Nova Scotia. Huh. Oh, excuse me. I think there's a sneeze coming on. Sorry about that. Gesundheit, me. Could be another one. They often come in multiples. Don't know why that is. It's like one just isn't enough to stop the tickle. When one sneeze isn't enough, have a second one. I don't know what's under the tarpaulin there. So we're just one block up from where we were, obviously. Retracing, not quite retracing our steps, retracing our general direction. I have to go to a drugstore, which I think is in the Scotia Centre. And I saw a big building with the Scotia Bank symbol on it. So I'm pretty sure that's where I'll find it. Might do another walk one day while I'm here. I don't know. Let's see. I am a little under the weather, but obviously not too bad since I'm successfully doing this walk without wheezing or falling over. I do want to go that way. It's not very scenic, though. As long as there's a sidewalk, I can keep following this path. However, make some blue noise. Harbor's over there. There's Mr. Cunard again. Oop. For some reason, the gimbal went wonky there. There you go. Excuse me. Like I said, a little under the weather. Find out what this blue noise thing is all about. Oh, the Blue Nose Marathon. Blue Nose, of course, is a famous sailing vessel from Lunenburg. It's on the dimes, Canadian dimes. So they've taken that. To name their marathon, apparently. Definitely wouldn't want to run a marathon right now. Well, I'd never want to run a marathon again. Not 100%, and I'm feeling it the longer I walk. Discovery Center, I think, is Children's Science Museum, probably. Be my guess. It is a guess, because I don't really know. There's a lot of noisy trucks along this road, that's for sure. Here's the other side of the Cunard space that we were looking at. They're working on. I'll probably have to cross over. The sidewalk looks closed up here. These are some older buildings here, though. And a dog. I never do a walk without a dog. Doesn't matter where I am. You see dogs. There's a bit of old Halifax streetscape there. These sidewalks not quite closed over there, but still nicer walking over here. And I have to go further up to my left anyway, eventually, to get to the Scotia Centre. I'll put on a mask when I go inside since I'm sniffling. I'm I'm not a huge fan of masks, and I don't really think they do anything, but people like them if you're sniffling, so I'll be nice. No way I'll ever wear one outside, though. That's never made sense for anybody. Even in the early days of the pandemic, it was quite clear that you weren't getting transmission to speak of just walking by people on the street. You had to spend time with them. But I do see people wearing masks on the street. I always wonder why. I don't even know what the name of this street is. Is this Water Street? The hotel's on Water Street, so that would make sense. Gee, I wonder why they would name a street Water Street that runs along the pier. Inquiring minds want to know. This is Lower Water Street, and this is Bishop Street crossing it, so at the corner of Bishop and Water. Lower Water, which implies an upper water. Well, I am heading north, so if I've got this right. Lebanese restaurant opening, but not while we're here. Olive oil and wine. Oh, vinegars, not wine. Oh, hey, somebody else said hello. Hello. I haven't worn one to speak of for months, year and a half. But I am carrying one today because, as I said, especially going to a drugstore, they might appreciate that. The Prowl Gallery. Terra Cafe, Black Sheep Restaurant. Breakfast, I ordered room service. It was awful this morning at the Marriott Harborfront. Came in a cardboard box, all jumbled together, like your hash browns and eggs and everything all jumbled together in a cardboard box. It was awful. Generally, when you order room service in a hotel, you get, cutlery and a plate and all that stuff. And this was like cheap takeout, not even very good takeout. So I was not impressed, as you can tell. Brewery Market. Call Mitch for opportunities. Hey, Mitch, I need an opportunity. I don't know what kind of opportunity. It just said to call you for opportunities. I could use an opportunity. What do you got? Shuck, raw bar, seafood. Funny how many seafood restaurants you get in the coastal city compared to Regina. Funny that. Salter Street, still on lower water. Looks like I probably want to cross over. Or can I go up this way? There's a path along here. Yeah, this will work. Some bedrock showing there. Looks like. Presumably something will get built there eventually. Right now, it's just an empty lot. Private property. The Waterfront Warehouse. Oysters, lobster, beer. 3 main food groups in a coastal city. Yes, there are different views today. One of my most popular previous walks was walking on St. John, so people do like to see something different. That and walking in snowstorms. For some reason, people enjoy watching me walk in snowstorms. I suppose if you're checking in from the Middle East or somewhere, a snowstorm is fairly exotic. Okay. Oh, I've still got a long way to go. That's the Maritime Museum up there. So still a ways to go before I'm even close back to where I was. Arthur's Urban Market. When you get caught between the moon and New York City. Probably not that Arthur. I know it's crazy, but it's true. I vaguely remember that movie and enjoying it, but boy, that's old now. I should go back and watch it again and see how it stands up. Dudley Moore, was it? Arthur? I must have seen it in Weyburn, so it came out in the 80s. Maritime Museum of the Atlantic, very much worth visiting. But again, not doing that today. There's the Yacht Club over here. The bar is closed. The distillery is still open. Sorry for the confusion. I wasn't confused. Yes, I do recommend this museum. And again, has a lot of, it's quite the wall art there. Spirit of a Legend. Has quite a lot about the Halifax explosion, as you'd expect. Yet another bar, fish dishes. Delicious fish dishes, it says here. It's like souvenirs. And, oh, actually, it's more like I think I was in this place last time. It's like a comic shop. I'm not really a comic guy, but it has some of that kind of stuff in it. Also, it's in an interesting building. Strange Adventures. Didn't even remember it until I saw it again. Sure, it must have been in there. Ooh, I wore my windbreaker over top of my sweater because I thought it'd be cold, and down by the water I was, but I'm not up here. But my microphone is attached to the windbreaker, so it's difficult for me to do anything about that. All right, getting close. There's the TD building. There's a bunch of bank buildings over here, one of which has the Scotia logo on it, and I presume that's where the Scotia Center that I'm looking for is. There's a Tim Hortons. Not a big fan, not a huge fan of Tim Hortons. I'm supposed to be living in Canada, but I'm not. Oh, another block or so. Is that the hotel there? Yeah, I think so. Because our, and there's the RBC building, because our room looks out over this construction. No scenery for us. So I think, yeah. This seems to be Bank Central here. Oh, there's the courts. Well, not quite what we look out over, but close. There's Scotiabank building, so I think that's where I'm headed. Across here. Uphill a couple of blocks, and we will call it quits. Who knows to restaurant and grill. Maybe I'll just stop here. It's not too much further. So thanks for walking with me here in Halifax. I don't know if I'll do another walk while I'm here or not, but I hope you enjoyed that one. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe.